Welcome back. Another episode of the Veritas Road. Carson back here with Murph. Our top story tonight, ABC has announced that it will be fielding a new weight loss reality show in the coming months. The production, set to air this fall, will feature special needs celebrities working to shed the pounds through diet, physical activity and competitions, and pharmaceutical intervention. Be sure to tune in this September to the world premiere of the special Ozempics.
Oh, nice. Is Shane Gillis going to be there? I mean, when I think of special needs celebrities, he's number one, right?
I mentioned him in my first draft of that story.
Oh, is that what you have crossed out there?
No, it's down here, but I mentioned him as the host. So tune in to Special Ozempics hosted by Shane Gillis.
Dude, that was a good one. Should you do that? You should sing the Ozempic. I can't say that word. One of the many words I can't say. You should sing the jingle.
I don't know it.
It's like, oh, it's magic, except they do their, that word I can't. Ozempic?
Ozempic?
Yeah.
Let's
quickly move on, because that's one of the words that I can't say, and I'm giving up.
Well, let's talk about the shit on the news this week.
Yeah. There's all kind of, dude, what a week it's been. What a week and a half.
Yeah.
Today's July 23rd to break the fourth wall, and man, it's been crazy.
It's, yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah.
What do you got?
So, John, if you can pull up my story real quick. There was
6 plus 8 equals 14. That's what we just had on Google there.
Oh, my gosh. So, just to look at this headline, these Picassos prompted a gender war in an Australian gallery. Now the curator says she painted them.
What does that even mean?
This gallery in Australia, it's Mona. So I assume they styled the name after MoMA, but this is the Museum of Old and New Art in Australia. Or I think it's actually New Zealand. I think it's in Tasmania.
Tasmania is not in New Zealand.
Oh, well, then it's definitely in Australia.
It is in Wellington, New Zealand.
I knew it was in New Zealand.
Right on the screen, dude.
All right. Jeez. All right. So it's in New Zealand. They had an exhibit that was for women only, which garnered some backlash from the men of the country, right?
Right.
And so to get around it, they took the installments, which were Picasso paintings. They took them and they built a women's bathroom to house the paintings in, to get around the fact that women, because of this court case, some men sued the gallery for discrimination. To get around this court case, they built a bathroom around for the paintings, specifically like a bathroom specifically for the paintings, and put the paintings in there to try to get around the issue. The curator of the museum, who's not even she's from America, came out later and said, "Oh, by the way, they're not actually Picassos. I painted them." Completely retarded.
Dude, that is retarded. So the women built a bathroom out of paintings?
No, they didn't build a bathroom out of paintings. So
I don't understand the bathroom part.
That's
hideous. Golly, dude.
Yeah, it's really
has
ugly.
like 4 tits on it.
I
might have to bleep that.
At this art museum, okay?
Yeah.
They had an exhibit that was for women only.
I get that part.
They had like high tea and a few different other things. They'd go in and eat, and there was high quality
the
art.
Women.
Okay. Just women would go in. They had male servers, and they wanted men to feel like excluded. Right? The whole idea was like men need to feel excluded the way women felt from society for a long time.
Equality, right?
Yeah. And so after some time, men obviously were upset that they couldn't see these so-called Picassos at the time, this extremely valuable, well-spoken of art that was in the exhibit, and so they filed suit against the museum, which the suit was awarded to the men who filed it. They said, hey, you got to start letting men in now. After word came and filtered through, the curator said, well, that's not happening, so she built a women's bathroom at where the exhibit was, and put the paintings in the women's bathroom.
Oh, okay.
To get around the fact that they were ordered to allow men into the exhibit.
That makes sense. But then the men could just be like, hey, I'm a woman. I'm going to the woman's bathroom.
Right. Yeah. It's completely crazy.
You can just totally get around that by saying you're a Zim.
Yeah.
Or
a Zen?
Yeah, or a Zare, or whatever they say.
Yeah.
Whatever the kids say.
Yeah.
That's a crazy story, man.
Freaking nuts.
Yeah. Mine is equally as dumb. In my opinion, of course. Look at this, man. The scientist. And I don't know if it says what scientist, but all that matters is that it was scientists. They discovered a cave on the moon where astronauts can live.
How?
I don't know. Look at that. There's a picture of it right there.
That can't be from the actual
There it is.
cave.
It's on the moon.
That lava tubes like this one in Hawaii could exist on the moon.
I love how
Hawaii.
they just put that picture in there to make you think it's some photo of what's in them. And they do credit where it is under the picture in tiny font.
Well, have
But
you noticed
still.
the could? Well, John, why have you been searching?
What is all
What
this
is
math?
this? Oh, it's locked.
Shoot. What's your pen?
Mother.
Oh, we're getting fished.
John,
We can bleep
it's
it.
the
on
same as it was
time
last
thing.
time.
We'll bleep. Don't worry, we can bleep it. All right, cutting back in. Notice how it said could. It could exist on the moon.
Right.
But I thought the scientists discovered one.
What in the world?
So you would have to say does exist on the moon.
Yeah.
Unless one of those people are lying.
They want to use radar to find caves on the lunar surface or underneath the lunar surface. But how are they going to do that? How are you going to get something that can ping radar up there?
Well, the Chinese, or was it India? India sent an Atari up there. Did you see the India Atari lander?
Like a video game?
No, it looks ridiculous, dude. You should, John, you should pull up the Indian spacecraft.
Well, can't we not go to the moon anymore? Didn't NASA come out and say we'd lost the technology or whatever?
By NASA, you mean Don Pettit, who works for NASA. But yeah, they did say that. That's a very famous, ridiculous video by them.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, you know, NASA gets like something where like $80 million a day.
Yeah, and it's some outrageous number.
Yeah. Oh, there it was, John. It was that green one in the top corner. No, other top corner. Yeah, that one. Look at that. India did that. So apparently you can put radar on that thing, don't you think?
I would imagine you could. Problem is with stuff like that, assuming, assuming a mainstream viewpoint, weight's a real problem, and I don't think radar's light, so
How much does
it could potentially be an issue.
How much does a radar weigh?
I have no idea.
Well, if they can, you think one radar?
I just said that it was heavy, and I don't actually know.
Well, you think one radar weighs as much as Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins combined?
I don't know.
Well, you were just claiming that it was heavy.
That's
and you
what
don't
I'm
even
saying. I have
So
no clue.
What the heck, man?
Well, it's amazing if you say something like that with confidence, people just believe you.
I don't, but
Well, if I had continued down that road, I feel like you would have believed that radar was heavy, and I don't know if it is or not.
yeah.
A radar array is heavy.
Well, they do have big old domes like you see on ships and stuff, like on the tops of like yachts. There's this like
Yeah, those big spinning metal pieces.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pick
Yeah.
that up. Maybe if it was a good day and I'd eaten a lot of steak. I don't know. That was my article. Just ridiculous.
That is
a ridiculous
stupid.
claim, man.
Good heavens.
What are they sending drones? They're going to be sending drones to the moon next.
Have they not already done that?
I don't know. When are they sending people back? Artemis keeps getting delayed.
Is that another mission to go back to the moon?
Yeah, that's like the new one because it's like Artemis and Apollo.
Doesn't NASA have like the world's biggest green screen?
Yeah, that's in Indiana. Indiana, listen to me. It's in New Orleans. It's in Louisiana somewhere. I think it's New Orleans.
Why does NASA need a massive green screen?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They got to train. They train. Okay, it's for training.
They train on a
purposes.
green screen because that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
That's
it. I know
retarded.
it's in Louisiana, John. It might be New Orleans.
Wow.
No, that's not it. That's in.
It's
Houston.
fine. We don't have to look this up
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. So there could be caves on the moon. That's what that whole story is about.
Oh, well, it's undecided because one caption says there could, but the title says there is. They discovered one, so I don't know.
Jeez. All right. Well, what else is going on?
Oh well, the country is devolved into complete chaos and and like some kind of insane movie, some kind of WWE plot gone rogue.
It does seem that way after this past week where a week ago, no, was it a week ago?
It was like 10 days ago or something.
Okay, 10 days ago, Trump got shot at.
Well, he got shot.
Like, he did barely, though.
But-
like, the guy barely grazed his ear.
But getting shot at implies that they didn't hit him.
I guess that's true. So, the attempted assassination on Trump was a little over a week ago.
How do you know that? What if Mr. Crooks was trying to hit his ear? You don't know that.
Well, let's just
What an
assume
assumption.
The attempted assassination the attempted assassination of Trump was a little over a week ago when we're recording this, and Biden dropped out of the race this past Sunday.
Yeah, he also might have died. There's huge things going around that he's dead.
What's going around that says he's dead?
Oh, dude, that's all over the internet. You don't keep up with things, do you?
No.
I'm back in the game. Just Google, is Biden dead? It'll be everywhere. Well,
supposedly he's got the Rona, right?
Well, yeah, don't you get over that? Well, you get over it whenever the CDC says you does.
Right.
But you do. But they
yeah, first it was like 2-3 weeks. It took a long time to recover. Now
Right.
it's like 2 days.
right.
And that's changed somehow over the course of several
It's
years.
probably you know what that we can't talk about on YouTube. That makes that happen. What were we saying? Oh, and the Secret Service lady resigned.
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah,
today.
I saw that.
Obama didn't endorse Kamala,
Right.
but Biden did in his letter.
Yeah. Oh, in his tweet.
Yeah, but he tweeted a letter.
Yes, that's true.
So, yeah, dude, completely crazy week of news, completely crazy stuff happening in our country. We're going to talk about it.
I just don't know what to think about this Trump assassination, man. So,
Yeah, you want to start there?
yeah. I mean, I would argue that's the biggest thing that's happened.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Oh, yeah, but Biden dropping out is probably pretty close. But, yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, nobody has ever dropped out this late in the race.
Yeah, but you weren't expecting that all along?
Honestly, I wasn't. I thought they were going to run him.
Wow.
That one surprised me. I was less surprised by the Trump assassination thing.
Dude, after that debate with Trump, there's no way you could have
Oh, yeah.
faked having that person continue to run. You just can't.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
It
then
was so
he
bad.
friggin' he called Zelensky Putin, brought up President Putin instead of Zelensky. He called Kamala Vice President Donald Trump. Like,
Right.
had no
He
idea what
claimed he
was
was
going
the first black president, didn't he? Didn't he
Yeah,
claim that?
He did.
Just for,
We're the first black president.
Yeah.
We beat Medicare.
We beat Medicare?
We beat Medicare.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It was during the debate with Trump, and he was talking
I don't
about
remember that.
everything he's done with people, and
and he's like, we've done great things for all the people we did great. We beat Medicare.
I was like, what in the world? How did you beat Medicare?
That's a pretty good impression. Well, he might even be dead. So he didn't beat death.
Why do you think he's dead?
John, Google that. See what comes up. All right, nobody's seen him since like July 19th. They're claiming that his signature on the letter was forged.
Who's claiming that?
Oh, tons of people. It's the far right. Excuse me, just the far right. I'm sorry.
Well, he was seen today and is supposedly supposed to address the nation tomorrow from the Oval Office.
Yeah, he said he was going to give a statement this
as
week.
of today,
Oh,
Tuesday the 23rd.
Did they see him today?
Yeah, he
Okay.
apparently they saw him today coming off of Air Force One.
All right. Did he
So-
fall? Did he fall off Air Force One?
I don't know.
That would have been funny. All right, so he's not dead.
It's like hunting an animal in the wild, dude. Everybody's looking for a Biden sighting.
Yeah, but you know who is dead? His son, Beau Biden. Ooh, was that too
Jeez.
much?
That was
that too
savage.
much?
Savage. Wasn't that a while back?
He was in like in the 80s or something, right?
Oh my gosh.
90s? Yeah.
And we haven't gotten over that? I mean, I realize that's sad. but
Dang. You were accusing me.
If you can joke
You
about
just-
9/11 now, I mean, come on.
You just turned that on his head.
I did a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's been going on, dude. All kinds of crazy stuff's been going on.
I just don't understand why anyone allowed him to continue to pretend to run. I mean, it was just stupid.
Well, do you want me to? I don't
What are
know.
your thoughts on that? Yeah, I want you to
What
talk
are my
about it.
thoughts on that? Obviously, he's not running anything.
Right.
All right. He's probably not even a person. It's probably like a dude behind a mask. Whoever controls him and funding him is just getting all their crap passed, and yeah, he's a complete puppet. It's like mainstream that Biden's a puppet and doesn't do anything.
Well, yeah, the guy can't put two words
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, so I mean, they would want him to keep going because they can just do whatever they want. Whoever's running Biden.
Well,
right?
the only
If you-
problem comes when you can't even like pretend to be a puppet, right? When that facade breaks down. and
Well,
then
yeah, but I mean, what
screwed.
are we gonna? What can you do about it?
nothing.
Yeah, and they're just the Democratic National Convention. They're just circumventing everything. They're just gonna pick whoever they want to. They've circumvented the whole everything.
Yeah, you think they'll throw Kamala up, or you think it'll be somebody else?
I don't know, dude. I mean, Kamala's just as like unpopular, in my opinion. Like, shouldn't they go for somebody who's more popular, like Michael? Excuse me, Michelle.
Well, see, that was my initial thought as well, but I'm wondering now after all the stuff that's gone on with Biden. You know the way people like have an opinion one day and then the next day, just flip the script on the way they think because the news tells them to. I'm wondering if that script will flip, and she'll suddenly become this, beloved,
Yeah.
benevolent despot. That everybody is just
What? That's not benevolent despot.
yeah.
Doesn't despot mean a tyrannical person?
That's why it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining that.
I didn't know you were being cheeky. I thought you were using a word incorrectly.
Mm.
But yeah, I've seen some stuff where like the governor of Michigan might run with her, and then they'll get 2 women on there.
Yeah.
And then they might drum up the whole women thing.
Right.
So that could be a strategy. They could get Gavin Newsom in there, even though everyone hates him. Who knows?
Why are people don't all the people from California despise him? Why are they all saying he should run for president? Because I've heard that.
Oh,
It
dude.
makes no sense.
Well, they're not saying it. Dude, do you think the people decide who's the president? I mean, we really still believe that?
No, that's not the point I'm making. I'm saying people from California who supposedly hate Gavin Newsom have said, oh, by the way, he should run for president. It's very confusing.
I don't know. That's an extremely general statement. Just people from California.
Like famous people.
Oh, like celebrities and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Well, maybe they don't hate him. I'm sure the commoners do.
Well, I mean, I would imagine they do, but like Hinchcliffe and Rogan and all of them, they'll bash him in one sentence and then be like, oh, he's a good speaker. He should run for president. It makes no sense.
Oh, I didn't know Rogan did that, but it's probably all those drugs he does. And it's
Oh,
kinda
testosterone?
yeah, he looks like a thumb, dude.
He does. That's true.
He's a pretty good interviewer, though.
A great interviewer,
But man, he looks like a thumb.
that's true. Kamala, man, she's so unlikable. I just don't understand how you push somebody like her through.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do.
Alex Jones thinks they'll bring Hillary back.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Everyone hates Hillary. Hillary and Kamala. How do you say her? Kamala?
Kamala. I don't
Hillary
say it the
and,
same twice.
Hillary and Kamala are like the same. So everyone hates them.
How are they the same?
Because I just said it. Everyone hates them all.
Mm.
They're a bunch of women everyone hates. So at least the Democrats like Michelle.
That's
even
true.
though she's not a woman.
Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever he is. So I think if I had to place a bet on it, I'd say it's most likely they'll stick with Kamala, but there's also a chance, like 20% chance they'll bring in Obama.
Obama.
Yeah, Michelle Obama.
You don't mean Barack, okay.
Right.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That'd be a big deal.
He can't do again, man, because of the, what was that? What amendment was that? The FDR amendment?
14th?
22nd.
22nd. Wow, I was way
No,
off.
the 14th amendment was like the whole citizenship.
Oh, that's
thing.
right. I'm so bad at, what is that, civics? Does that fall under the heading of civics?
That's called
Right.
history, dude.
History?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm retarded. So Trump almost got shot, or
Yeah.
did get shot
He did get shot.
by like some 20-year-old on a
allegedly.
roof somewhere.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. All right. So the kid's name was Thomas Crooks, which there right off the bat, his last name was Crooks.
Set up for success.
Right. So that's almost like a joke, a slap in the face. A crook shot the president or the former president.
Donald J.
Is
Trump.
he still the everyone calls him President Trump, but he's not the president. I don't know how that works.
I'm a little iffy on
Oh.
that. Like, as far as
Iffy
the
on what?
laws are concerned or whatever, how are you supposed to address like former presidents? Do you call them former President Gaywad or whatever, or do you call them like President Bush or
I don't
whatever?
care. That's what a tangent. No one wants to hear us talk about that. I don't know. I feel like Washington set the standard for that. But yeah, he shot Trump or allegedly shot Trump.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, what a complete breakdown. So everybody knows this already, but we'll do a quick recap. He's from like an hour away in Pennsylvania. He got his dad's AR. His dad had like 40 guns. He got one of them that his dad bought legally. He drives over there. He's just walking around, dude. He's just freaking walking around the perimeter for like an hour beforehand. Like 100
With
people
an
saw
AR.
him. Well, he had the gun in like a case. So you
Okay,
couldn't
so
tell.
it wasn't out in the open.
The gun wasn't, but he flew a drone around. Yeah, they're all saying that. This is all mainstream stuff, dude. He flew a drone around, scoped out the place. He bought a ladder from Home Depot, and when they killed him, they claimed they found the receipt. It's like a 9/11 passport type thing. He bought a ladder from Home Depot. He's walking around with a ladder and a rangefinder and a duffel bag. And, like, there's tons of witnesses that saw him, tons of cops that saw him. The Secret Service knew he was there. They're like, hey, we got a suspicious person. He climbs on top of a building, right? And John, I don't know if you can pull a picture of the building, but the big thing was, like, the counter sniper teams couldn't see him because of the slope of the roof. Well, the slope of the roof is like this, dude. You were a
Yeah.
former roofer.
No, yeah, it's like a 412, dude. It's
No,
not
it's probably
steep.
less than that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It wasn't even a 1-to-1.
Well, one of the stories I looked at suggested that one of the closer snipers was potentially obscured by some foliage. by some trees.
There were some trees that they couldn't see through. It was
Yeah.
just a complete like breakdown, complete incompetence. Yeah, look how that is not a steep roof at all. Oh well, now the picture's gone. There it is. Yeah, it's all right. It's tiny. Who cares? You can just see how that is not a steep roof. Dude.
That's not a steep roof at all.
So I'm calling some BS. If you've got military trained snipers that can't even see that.
Yeah.
So he just gets up there. A cop from the local cops goes up there to engage him. Right?
Okay.
The dude points his rifle at him, and and the cop is like, "Oh, I'm out of here," and then he like falls 8 feet down.
Oh, gee. Is the cop okay?
I don't know. I think he just like screwed up his ankle. He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly, the story I heard on that is that he was being bolstered by another cop below him. So that's why he fell. Is like a cop was like hoisting him up on his shoulders to like check it out, and when the dude turned and pulled on him, he like the other cop like dropped him.
Why wouldn't you just use isn't there a freaking ladder there? Why
They
wouldn't you
didn't
just
find
use
the
that?
ladder until after they killed the dude.
Oh.
So it's like
So these
somebody
cops are
pointed
just-
this out, and one guy's hoisting him up on his shoulder to take
Yeah,
a look.
I
That's why
think-
his weapon wasn't drawn. And then when he turns around, it's like other cop drops him.
If you see a guy on a roof, you draw your weapon.
Yeah,
And
that's-
also,
You would think so, but their reasoning to be why they wouldn't do that is that one cop had him on his shoulders to take a look. That's why he didn't draw his weapon.
this whole thing
Yeah,
is
it's nonsense.
It's
It's
so
absolute nonsense.
suspicious.
Yeah, that's the point I want to make. It's either you got two. You got a few options here. All right. Complete, absolute incompetence by like 400 people.
Right.
Everyone in the top levels of the Secret Service are a bunch of retards. Every single one on the police force must be retarded.
Right.
He was, the building he was on top of, all the cops were in. That was like their base. It's like a joke, dude. It's like a bad movie. Or it's a freaking inside job, man. Like at the very least, the least amount of conspiracy here is that the deep state tried to kill Trump and failed. That's like the least conspiracy.
Yeah, so I mean,
You
you've
can
got,
get there.
like you said, you have a few options. Either A, the Secret Service is so incompetent they didn't catch the sniper. B, freaking all the Democrats in deep state try to murder him. Or C, Trump stages it to win the election. That's your other option.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fourth option is that the entire world's a stage and everything's fake. But
Well, that would be the whole deep state thing, right?
yeah, well, I mean, even the idea of a deep state is fake. Just the idea that there's this whole government that's actually over us and that we can participate in it and all this, and it's all part of the stage. But well, man, you're squinting. You're squinting.
You
like
lost me
have-
there, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It could be just completely fake. That's an option.
The whole assassination attempt?
Yeah.
Like AI or something? What are you saying?
No, the like Trump is not like he is part of the deep state as well.
Oh.
The
All
deep
right.
state is the entire everything.
Oh, I
But,
see your point.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another option.
Okay. I mean, either way, it was...
Yeah, I think we can all agree. Nobody buys the mainstream story. Nobody.
Nobody buys anything anymore, especially after 2020 and all of the nonsense with Biden losing his mind. No one I talk to has any confidence in anything that filters down from the news or from the United States government. Nobody has any confidence in any of that.
Yeah, but man, what an obvious statement. I mean, do you think
Sorry,
there's
I didn't
do
mean
you
to
think
offend.
there if we just had to make up a poll, you think 10% of people in the US believe the mainstream story? You think it's that high?
I think that's probably a pretty accurate number.
Yeah.
Because at least from the people I talk to, it seems like there's kind of an age gap. So people over maybe like 60, 65, because they grew up in such a patriotic time. Like people like my mom tend to at least generically think of the government as something that is in some way good or beneficial. Anybody under that age was like young enough during like Vietnam and 9/11 and all that stuff to be suspect of whatever's going on.
During Vietnam and 9/11, that's like a 60.
I realize
year
those
gap
are
between those,
well
but
apart, but like
I get what you're
9/11
saying,
and
though.
Desert Storm and all of that nonsense that's gone on, like, people like that, they were young enough when that happened that they're like, oh my, what is really going on, you know?
Yeah, dude. There's so many There's so many just ridiculous things about this shooting, allegedly, that we just, it's fake, man.
Well, how about the fact that a 5.56 like barely scraped Trump? Like his ear's just fine?
Right. Yeah, let's run through it all. Yeah, so a 5.56
is not a small bullet.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how fast they travel, but if it hits your ear at all, you're losing your ear.
Yeah.
You can't just like pierce your ear. They don't shoot people's ears with a 5.56 at like Claire's or something.
Right.
Like your ear will get freaking George Weasley. It'll be gone.
Yeah. Right.
So that's suspicious right there. Like, have you seen? There hasn't been. I don't think there's been any like new pictures of his wound, but like the initial picture, it just looks like a weird congealed blood. It doesn't even look real, dude.
I haven't seen one without the bandage.
There's like the initial picture. I don't know if I could find it, or if John can find it. Yeah. Look at that, dude. Look at that.
It doesn't even look like it's harmed.
Right,
there.
dude.
It looks like somebody spilled red dye on his ear.
Right. It almost looks like ketchup, dude. And he supposedly got hit by a 5.56. I don't believe it.
Yeah, that seems a little sketchy.
I don't know if he had like a blood packet or if he actually did get hit by a bullet, if it was like a 22 or if it was like a BB gun, for Lord's. I mean, that's crazy, dude.
His ear looks fine there. Like, I don't see a single.
Yeah,
it looks bloody.
Even the really
dark spot could be a hole. That dark spot that John's mouse is over could be a hole.
I don't know. Could it?
It could. Yeah.
It almost looks like a scab.
I've seen a more side view of it, I feel like somewhere. But while I'm looking, what I will say, I mean, a 5.56 is roughly the size of like 22 LR. I mean, it's .223, so it's not that much bigger than a 22. It is going a heck of a lot
it travels
faster.
like 700 miles per hour faster.
Yeah, but the bullet size is roughly the same. So you can kind of keep that in mind when you're just thinking about like the size of the wound. It doesn't necessarily mean it would blow his ear straight off.
I don't think it would blow his ear straight off, but I imagine it would have taken.
Y'all.
I imagine it would have taken a more sizable chunk out of soft cartilage than what we're seeing.
Yeah, I need to watch some of these videos that people have done recreating it, but
at the very least, it would have taken the top half of his ear off. You don't just get like a scab.
Well, have you seen any of those breakdowns of like the angle his head was at?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's ridiculous, dude.
And how he supposedly didn't he like look at some statistics or something?
Yeah,
allegedly?
he later claimed the statistics saved his life. Yeah, he pulls up a chart about immigration right as the bullet is coming.
Which, I mean, if that's true, is insane.
It's statistically impossible. What are the odds, dude?
Slim to none.
Either it wasn't a bullet that hit him, or God intervened and saved him.
Those are both viable options.
Yeah, all right. So this is a good segue to show that video.
What video?
This video that I've been hyping up. I don't know if anybody's seen this. Hey, John, pull it up. It's the first one. The timestamp is 11:03. This is going to blow your mind. This is from 4 months ago.
4 months ago?
Yeah. Yeah, that one right there. Go to 11:03, and everyone just listen.
All right, we're going to get through this stupid ad first.
Yeah, we don't... donate to Patreon so we can get YouTube Premium. Please. Look, you can even see the spike. Oh, man, that's not the spike. There's a spike. Yeah, 11:03. Yeah, that's good enough.
Turn the sound on first, John.
You got it muted. Now you're at 22 minutes somehow. You're still muted.
I know. I'm going to mute it when I play it.
Okay.
You're going to mute it when you play it.
Unmute it when I play it.
Torches all throughout Oklahoma, and they were raising up these torches that looked like fire coming. It was being birthed, and it just kept spreading like fire all throughout America, all throughout. And I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people.
Enough. You can back out of that.
Does this guy claim to be a prophet?
Yeah. So keep in mind, this is from 4 months ago.
Okay. So this guy, 4 months ago. So It's July. What was 4 months ago?
During the eclipse, dude.
March, right?
Yeah, around the time of the eclipse.
Says that he sees a bullet whiz by and hit Trump in the air.
Yep.
What the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah, I didn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, there's no way. So you've got some. So let's break down the options with this one. All right. Either it's real, right, and this guy's a prophet from God, and Trump's here to save us all, right? That's what he believes.
which is hilarious.
Yeah. Now, I would argue that from my own personal opinion, that Trump did not immediately turn and praise Jesus because.
No, he got up and started shaking his fist and be like, fight.
Yeah. But I was just referring to jdvance, who's, I don't know, he's kind of questionable. I'll leave it at that. All right, so that's one option. That this is two option. We live in 1984, and this video looks like it's from 4 months ago. Looks like there's a bunch of comments from months and months ago, but they somehow put that up and made it look old. And by they, I mean the nefarious, evil, dark side.
The deep state.
Right. I guess, for lack of a better word, it's the deep state.
Our version of the Ministry of Truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I guess the last option would be this guy's in on it. This guy, just said this, and he was part of the plan for the assassination. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, is that not crazy? If anybody hadn't seen this video, that is freaking crazy.
I mean, it's impossible to know which of those is true. I will say, just to play devil's advocate a little bit, because, obviously, just judging by the way you're talking, you obviously think this whole thing is nonsense. But let's play devil's advocate for a minute. You're a spiritual guy, right?
Yes.
And so is it not conceivably possible that this man is legitimately a prophet, assuming those really existed, which the Bible states they did? Then could it not be that he is simply an actual prophet who predicted this event?
Yeah, that's possible. I'm not denying that that's not possible. I don't particularly believe that.
Why not?
Just because of what he's saying. I'm not a Trump, or I'm not a Republican or Democrat. I'm not a fan of any of it. I think they all do evil things. I don't think Trump's a good guy. I think they're all warmongers. They constantly promote the country we ain't allowed to talk about very heavily. They all commit horrible war crimes, constantly feeding these wars. Trump's no saint, dude.
Obviously
do you think Trump,
not.
Think about his message. It's the message. You think Trump's going to turn to Jesus? Right? Fall down and turn to Jesus? He immediately promotes jdvance as the vice president, right after this, right?
Why is it a problem? Explain that.
All right. So he's mega pro-war. Immediately he's attack Iran. We got to attack Iran. The mainstream is coming out and saying that Iran had an assassination attempt on Trump. And how long? Why do they want to attack Iran? Because that's what Israel wants, dude. They're the last bastion to fall under Western control. I don't even know if they have a central bank. They've said for years Iran and North Korea don't have a central bank, but that they could potentially not even be in on this game. But it's just a bunch of war-promoting neocons. J.D. Vance is no different than George Bush. Draining the swamp, they're just fighting these eternal neocon wars. The Democrats and the Republicans always agree on the wars.
They do seem to. It's a little sketchy.
Yeah, so that's why I don't believe it. But maybe Trump will make a complete 180. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying what I believe. I think it's BS.
Yeah, well, you can't know, but to the best of
but it might not opinion. He could be a prophet for all we know, and the Creator could use Trump. I don't know what's going to happen. It's wild. I know that. It's freaking crazy, dude. That's crazy that exists.
Politics has turned into the best reality show you could want.
Yeah. All right, give me your opinion. You're good about asking me mine. What do you think about it?
My assumption is...
I don't know why I just fondled that water. It's a very pleasing shape, right?
I love to fondle a good water bottle.
Continue.
My assumption is the assassination was probably fake somehow. How? I don't know. I've tried to do as much research as I can, but everything I read on the internet seems highly suspect. But just looking at the events themselves, a guy is on a roof 150... Right, 150-ish yards away, 157 yards, I believe, if I remember correctly, and hits Trump in the ear. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
just because he was a bad shot. If he gets that close and hits him in the air, that seems super
Right,
sketchy.
and
Plus, that lady behind Trump is just like chilling on her phone the whole time.
Yeah, I don't.
Come on. And the Secret Service doesn't notice this guy walking around with an AR and a ladder? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, no, I wanted to jump. Sorry, I tried to cut you off. They did notice him. That's what. There's like 100 people that noticed him. There's like people were calling the cops talking about him. There's videos of people like, hey, there's a guy on the roof. There's this guy on the roof with a gun. He's got a gun. Don't go over there.
Right. So clearly
It's like,
there's
what?
something fishy.
Yeah, dude.
And my assumption is that somebody wanted this to go down and didn't want Trump dead. They wanted something wild to happen but didn't want him dead. That's my assumption.
So that doesn't really make sense to me.
Why not?
Because all right. If they wanted Trump dead, they would have just killed him.
Right.
So they didn't want him dead.
Right.
That would make sense. But how would you leave that up to just some random guy shooting his ear? Were they shooting non-lethal rounds? That's what I'm saying. The shooting part, at least the shooting part of Trump, had to be fake.
Yeah.
It's either that part is either fake or God saved him. Those are my only two choices. I'm serious, dude.
Yeah. No.
Because he turned his head at the exact last second.
Right.
No chance. Either
Yeah.
God saved Trump or the whole thing was fake. And I lean to the whole thing was fake, but I could be wrong, obviously. I mean, there were more than one shooters, dude. There was like tons of people claiming there was a shooter on the water tower. And
This is turning into a Kennedy moment.
oh, dude, it's like Kennedy on steroids, dude. Like wait till we get into talking about the alleged shooter. I got another video that you should see on that. I tried to find videos of these interviews. This stuff is getting memory hold faster than you can blink, but I will link the description to a live stream you should watch that's got a few interviews of people claiming there was a shooter on the water tower. They've even got video of it allegedly, which a lot of people are saying it's a shadow, but I'll let people decide for themselves. We'll put the link in the you call it a show note description on YouTube.
Description, show notes.
How do you do it on Spotify and stuff?
There's a description in the show notes on Spotify.
All right, we'll do that too, boys. Yeah, dude, there's a shooter on the water tower. None of the angles add up. All these audio acoustic. It is like you said, a Kennedy moment. There's like different guns being fired by all these experts. I mean, just the gross incompetence of the Secret Service alone is the BS. You see that Secret Service agent fumbling her gun? I mean, it's like freaking hot potato, man.
Yeah.
I could have done better than that. I could have looked at my gun and be like, all right, I'm putting this back in my holster now. I could have done that. It's a joke, man. And they didn't even put any pressure on Trump's ear, dude. Like, if you just got shot in the ear, the first thing you do is put pressure on that thing. He just got up and he was like, all right, I need my shoes. Well, let me put my shoes on.
Judging by
fight, and let's walk slowly to my car. It's BS, dude.
Judging by the photos, if it was, let's assume it wasn't like a graze of the ear, right? Then there's no need to put pressure on it. And in the moment, when you're hyped up on adrenaline, you probably notice that and move without even having to think about it. So I don't think that's that suspect.
I'm not talking about Trump, dude. I'm talking about the Secret Service agents. They don't know that it's a graze. They see his ear spurting blood. They're putting pressure on it, getting him out of there. Their training kicks in.
You could potentially see that it's been not hit badly enough to need pressure and move on and just cover the guy. That is possible.
And they didn't even cover him, first of all, because they left enough of an opening for everybody for him to get his photo op. And
they did, yeah.
All right, so that's BS. But they would have tackled him, shielded him, put pressure on the opening. You wouldn't have seen hide nor tail of him. They'd have left his damn shoes, too. That's some crap. All right? The whole thing is a joke. And he just walks calmly into the car, and he's like, all right, I'm fine.
Yeah, why are they letting him pop his head out?
Yeah, exactly.
After he's shot at. Pop his head out and be like, fight! What in the... What the hell?
Yeah, plus the initial, like, when he reaches up and grabs his ear.
Yeah.
Like, people slow that down. You don't see any blood on his hands, dude. There's no blood on his hands after he initially grabs it, and then he goes down. Now, the only proof that there was even a bullet was taken by this photographer. And John, look this guy up, okay? His name is Doug Mills. He got the famous picture.
I saw his name, and he took another picture a while back.
That's what I'm getting at, dude.
It was.
That's what I'm getting at. So Doug Mills, all right, he's been in the game a long time. I think he works for. Does he work for New York Times now?
I think so.
He used to work for Reuters, and maybe the Associated Press. So this guy, So all right. So Doug Mills takes the picture of the bullet and allegedly has blood on Trump's hand. Right.
Right. Yeah.
You know what else he did? You know what else picture Doug Mills took?
Was it 9/11?
Yes.
Yeah.
He just happened to be taking the picture of George Bush as he was
reading iPad Go.
he was reading
Yeah.
to the kids, dude. Yeah, which is iPad Go, which is the creepiest. Look into
Yeah.
that one. We'll have to do a whole.
And he just so happens to be at both events.
right.
Which, to play devil's advocate again, he is like a news reporter. You know, like he's a photographer, political photographer. It is conceivable that the same political photographer could have covered both happenings.
What are the odds of that?
Pretty minimal, but it is possible.
He took another famous picture too. I can't remember off the top of my. There was like 3 pictures he's famous for. Look, hey John, go to his Wikipedia page. See what else he took. There's another really famous one. Here, you just scrolled right past it, over to the side. Oh, you scrolled past it again. Go down. Go over. Yep. Yeah. See that blue Wikipedia? Over. To
the right.
Yep.
John, there it
Hit
is.
that. Let's see. Go down. Whoa, that was too fast. What else? What else was?
All right, who gives a f***? Let's move on.
No, there was something else, dude. It was all right. Whatever. No, well, John's not going. I can't read this, so he's not going up. So never mind. I guess
It'll be all right.
we'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was it. Clinton. He like took pictures of Clinton and Monica Lewinsky during all that too. So what are the
All
odds that he's in like every single one of these big moments of American history?
Was he under the desk?
Dude, he's part of Project Mockingbird. Probably this dude's CIA, man.
I don't know what Project Mockingbird is.
CIA openly admits they infiltrated every one of the major news outlets, and they just like openly work for the CIA. I mean,
Well, these intelligence agencies, man, like, why are they investigating local affairs? Like, that's not their job, right?
what do you mean by that?
Why is the CIA openly allowed to investigate local to the U.S. companies and things like that? Isn't their job to handle counter-espionage and that kind of thing? What the hell are they doing investigating freaking,
I don't
you know?
What do you mean by investigating? I don't know what the F you're talking about. What are they investigating?
I don't know. My point is, why is the CIA infiltrating and
that's-
investigating, what's the word I'm looking for?
Infil-
Local companies, like companies that are native to America. Why the hell are they doing that? Isn't their job counter-espionage to make sure that we're not under attack from a foreign entity? You know, what the hell are they doing investigating local companies?
Yeah, well, infiltrating was a way better word. Yeah, I totally get it. They should be abroad dealing with like spies and like freaking like Azerbaijan or something.
Right, which I guess, to be fair, some of the spies, their whole job is like probably to make it here, right? But the amount that they seem to handle local affairs seems incongruous to the way it should be.
No, they're all about propaganda and influencing the public for gain of the government. That's what the CIA does. I mean, Anderson Cooper openly admits he interned for the CIA. You think you just interned for the CIA, and your mom is a Vanderbilt? I mean, he's a freaking open CIA agent on CNN.
Dude, I've never seen a human being that looks more like a robot than Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, Lester Holt's close. I know you like him, but man, he's creepy.
He's a nice-looking guy.
He
He looks
looks-
like a friendly grandpa to me.
Now he looks like a brown thumb. He's like a brown Joe Rogan.
And I like
He's
his
creepy.
voice. He has a nice voice.
He does have a pretty good voice,
Yeah.
but I mean, they all do. They're newscasters.
It's no James Earl Jones, but it is nice. Or Patrick Stewart. Dude, Patrick Stewart has a great voice.
That's the Star Trek guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, James Earl Jones is great.
Yeah. Freaking or Mufasa.
He's
Mufasa.
old, man. Darth Vader. He's really old.
Is he still alive?
I
Is
think
James Earl
so.
Jones still alive?
Yeah, he's like 94 or something.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So
Trump almost got assassinated.
yeah. Dude, so the kid, did you know that there's so much that doesn't add up with this guy? So they found, like, nobody had any idea he's going to do it. It's like a classic incel story. Did you know he was in a BlackRock commercial?
What? Really?
Yeah. Pull that up, John. You know
I didn't know BlackRock had commercials.
Yeah. You know what BlackRock is?
Yeah.
Like the most infamous part of the military-industrial complex
Yeah.
that owns like half the world.
Right.
Yeah. They have their own private army going around. You
Yes.
spell John? That's
Massive
Blacha.
militia.
I sent you the link, but whatever. That's part of the link I sent. Guess you can Google it too.
What are we looking at? Are we looking at a video?
Yeah.
Do you want to watch the video or?
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
thought we'd watch it, but if you don't want to watch it, that's
Why don't
fine.
you just
Again, please donate so we can get YouTube Premium. We don't care about Spectrum Internet. Screw them. All right.
It's Blux. Real, raw, and ridiculously fun. No fluff, no fakes. Get ready for a Blux experience. Smash subscribe. Love ya.
Terrible intro.
That is bad.
My name is Brian DeLallo. I teach AP and Honors Economics in Pittsburgh,
There he was right
Pennsylvania.
there. That was him.
Financial well-being to
I
me
didn't
is
see him at all.
knowing that I
Can
can
we
be
go back?
in-
That guy in the
My
black,
name
I
is
think.
Brian DeLallo.
The kid at the
I
desk?
teach
Yeah.
AP and
I
Honors.
think that's him.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a classroom, and apparently the Trump shooter is at a desk in the classroom.
Right.
Are we sure that's
Economics in
him?
Pittsburgh,
pretty sure.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, BlackRock admitted
Financial well-being
that
to me is
he was in one of
knowing
the
that
commercials.
I can be
Really?
free to do the
Yeah.
things that I love to do.
Over.
I
Oh, I
hope
didn't even
when
see
I
that. A
retire
third.
someday,
Oh, and he's
they
wearing
say,
orange.
That guy made this place
Here
a
we go.
special place
Wow.
to come to school.
Yeah, that
and
was him
gave
again.
as much as he could to
So he's
help
all up
the
in this
community.
commercial.
Yeah.
All right, John, kill that.
Yeah, that's it. We've seen enough. So all right, we'll have to do a whole nother episode on BlackRock, but just look up BlackRock. They are not our friends. They are one of the sketchiest companies ever.
Yeah, they have a whole like private army.
Yeah. There's they
Terrifying.
they even own half the United States. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like 60-something%. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. They
That's
have
a lot of real estate.
Yeah, dude. And by the United States, you know what I mean.
Yes, everyone knows what you
Yeah.
mean.
No, they don't. But, yeah. Give me something. What do you think?
The fact that he was in a BlackRock commercial is interesting.
Yeah,
I would wonder how old he was because that commercial didn't look new. So my question would be, assuming he's actually 20 currently, or was 20 because he's dead now. What?
I mean, he was like 16. He was like 15, 16, or 17.
Well, nobody's going to be part of a militia at 15 or 16.
That's not the
so-
point.
Well, what's the point then?
The point that he was in a BlackRock commercial.
Well, assuming he was that young, I don't see how it has altogether that much bearing on what is going on
Are
currently.
you serious, dude? Have you even looked into BlackRock at all?
Are they recruiting kids?
They're like a private CIA.
Yeah, I
They
mean, I understand that. But
yeah, they
what
recruit kids. Heck yeah. They get him in to be a patsy. They get him interested in all this crap, and they put him as a fall guy. I mean, they got secret agents building relationships probably with hundreds of people, dude. They're sketchy.
Ugh.
They have unlimited funding. Just the fact that he's in a BlackRock commercial alone, that fact alone should blow the whole thing out of the water. Then you throw in 400 other coincidences in this assassination, and you've got a fake event, man.
Yeah, what's this you were saying about the second shooter?
Yeah, I tried to find that video. There's a bunch of people, like, going around on the interviews, like, the day of, being like, yeah, there were shots coming from the water tower. We didn't go near the water tower. We heard guns near it. Somebody on the water tower. Like I said, I'll link this in the description.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well, no matter what,
I dropped the ball on that. I couldn't find a video of that. Sorry.
no matter what you think, there has got to be something big a-brewing with the whole Biden nonsense and Trump getting shot at. Some going down in November, I feel like.
Yeah, do you think it's... Yeah, you can't just be like, after all this, now it's just going to be a normal election.
Right.
Yeah, not a chance, dude. I mean, what do you... I guess we can kind of get into that. Like, so Trump's still in all this legal trouble, right? What's the deal with that?
I think everybody's forgotten about that now.
Right. Now he's like a hero, but there's
Yeah.
still like all the ongoing legal stuff, right?
Well, maybe. Okay, here's a thought. Maybe Trump wants to get out of the legal stuff, and so he stages an assassination to make him a hero, and then no more legal trouble because he's a hero now because he got shot at.
There's a bunch of Q people that are like, he's going to fake his own assassination.
That would actually be that would be a master chess move right there if that's what happened.
Yeah,
5D.
to butt in on the legal issue, some of it seems to be kind of up in limbo. So I know one of the cases did get dismissed because the Supreme Court came out with a ruling over like presidential immunity for official acts. So it does seem like some of them are going to be up in the air for dismissal. Because,
Talking to your mic.
Oh, sorry. It does seem like some of them are going to be up in the air to be dismissed
Okay.
due to that ruling.
When did that information come out?
A couple of weeks ago when that happened. I don't know the exact date. I guess I can look it up here
Okay.
real quick.
But he's got like 500 cases, man. He's got Stormy. He's got the documents. He's got Russia.
Well,
he's got
the documents is gone. That got dismissed.
They'll bring up new documents, man.
Well, possibly, but
I think that's done for the time being.
yeah, the documents was dismissed. Obviously, he was convicted on that thing in New York, which sentencing has been seemingly delayed until October, possibly going indefinitely. The way the judges notice read is that it'll be delayed until October if needed. So.
Well, how is that not sketchy?
Yeah,
Delayed until October if needed.
Yeah, let me
that
see if
sounds
I
like
can find that. That
sounds like election
order.
That sounds like we'll just bring this up at the election.
Yeah,
that's what that sounds like.
I mean,
because it was supposed to be July 17th, right before the RNC.
Oh, dude, we didn't even talk about the RNC. Good point. What about the RNC, dude? Did you watch that?
September.
No, I didn't.
Dude,
apparently Hulk Hogan spoke, which is hilarious.
right. He ripped his shirt off. I mean, what a clown show, dude. It was
Yeah.
like some kind of WWE SmackDown.
Okay, answer me this. Why are is it not really close to the election to be having conventions? Are these delayed at all, or is this just when they have them every year and I've never noticed?
No, this is when they have them every year. They're always in the summer.
Why don't they have them earlier? I mean,
That's just how it's always
it just
been,
seems
dude.
super close to the election to pick a candidate.
Well, and it's a formality. The RNC and DNC are formalities. I mean, they know the candidate in the primaries in like freaking March or April or something. Like basically, it's after like Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina, they know who it is. So the RNC is just a bunch of BS. Like,
Well, the
formality.
DNC is going to matter this year.
I know. It's because they've just circumvented everything, and they're just going to put someone in, and there's nothing. You know, well, they put Bernie in, like 90 years old.
That'd be hilarious.
Bernie.
Do you think any actual Democrats, like people who go to work every day and go back home and drink and commit acts of violence, do you think any normal people actually want Kamala in the race?
No, dude. I mean, the only people that are going to support her are the absolute brainwashed ones. Right? Like you were talking like your blue-haired New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Which is
Blue-haired New Yorkers.
which is definitely like the minority of Democrats, I'm sure.
No, it is.
Like most Democrats are like union people from the north.
Right.
You know? And what would you call them? Like blue dog Democrats or whatever?
Something like that, yeah.
Right. No, they don't want her, dude. They don't want her. They're sick of that crap.
Well, she seems kind of like a dude.
She's terrible, man. Wasn't she like I'm pretty sure she was some kind of like prostitute at one point.
Prostitute?
There's something to.
She was a prosecutor in California.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know she was a prosecutor, but I don't think she was a prostitute.
Nah, I'm pretty sure that there's something to that.
There are videos with her as some celebrity's side piece.
All right, yeah, I would not have just made that up. I know I've seen that somewhere, but I'll
certainly
have to dig forever to find it.
Would not conflate that with prostitution.
There is some kind of sexual work associated with her somewhere in her past.
Jeez.
I that is true, and I will find it.
That's a weighty accusation.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Do you know how many you really... All the politicians do that, dude.
Oh, Camel Toe Harris?
Yeah, they're all involved in all kinds of stuff, dude.
You think Pelosi's selling her body?
Oh, yeah, dude. They probably have...
Who's trying to Pelosi?
Jesus, Carson, you're really making a lot of work for us. I don't know. They're creepy. I mean, what do they do at Bohemian Grove?
Well, they're creepy, but you're talking about prostitution. These are different things.
I mean, you don't think prostitution is creepy?
Yes, but when you say creepy, I imagine them like, with Epstein Island type stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, they all do that, too.
Compared to that, prostitution's nothing, that's no big deal.
They do that with freaking underage people, like all of them.
Like Obama and the hot dog emails?
I mean, Matt Gaetz, just look at Matt Gaetz. Yeah. He's like convicted, or he's like known. It's just like accepted.
Yeah. So quickly, what I was talking about on the judge's order Trump has been convicted of. The July 11th, 2024 sentencing date is therefore vacated, and the court's decision will be rendered off calendar on September 6th. And the matter is adjourned to September 18th at 10 a.m. for the imposition of sentencing, if such is still necessary.
So they're going to throw this nonsense out.
Yeah, so it is possible that a lot of this...
Which case is this for?
This is for what he was convicted of in New York, for apparently over the hush money payments.
Yeah.
So this is Stormy?
Yes. This is the criminal case.
So they've still got election stuff, and they've still got So where's the
The
documents?
documents,
got dismissed.
Show me the paper. You pulled up this paper. How do we know there's not more? What about the documents by all the Coke cans in Marl Arbor?
Those are the documents.
Those are the ones?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was dismissed. So
Trump just had the one documents
yeah,
case.
the one federal indictment is dismissed. So right now, I
Yeah.
think he only has the stuff in Georgia. Is the only thing left,
Which is
Right.
the election stuff,
which
right?
is the election stuff. That's correct.
So Stormy's over, documents over. We still got election stuff. And
Which-
Russia.
Let's take a second. I listened to that call
What
that
call?
he supposedly had where he got accused of election interference or whatever. I'm not a Trump guy, but I didn't hear any issues with that. Where he supposedly told them you need to go out and find like 11,000 votes or whatever. I didn't hear him say that once. Seems like nonsense to me.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it to comment.
I think the accusation was that Trump told whoever was like his people or whoever was counting the votes or something like that they needed to go out and find or make votes for him so that he could win Georgia. And I listened to the call wherein he was supposedly accused of election fraud or election interference, and it just seemed like a business owner being a dick. Like that's what they do, you know? It didn't seem fishy to me at all.
Well, the Democrats do that. I mean,
Everybody does
they
that.
pull boats out of their butthole. I mean, Trump was winning in 2020, and they're like, "Oh, it's too close to call." And then overnight, like 4 million came in for Biden. They're like, "All right, they just showed up."
Weren't there supposedly like a bunch of deceased people who voted?
Oh yeah, it's a total joke.
Jeez, John, what'd you find?
I just had pulled up the federal case being dismissed over the
Okay.
documents.
Well, and
So
Joe
it was
Biden did
dismissed
the same
a couple
thing.
weeks ago.
Joe
Yeah.
Biden did the exact same thing, and they were like,
Yeah.
he's a sweet old man. Screw that noise.
Yeah, we already talked about that. Yeah, they're painting the picture that they're out to get Trump, but it seems like they've changed it all now. Like now, Trump's kind of getting popular, even with the media, dude. They're not hating him as bad, and everybody was,
They're yeah, but the thing is, socially speaking, you can't on a guy who just got shot at. You can't. You have to give it a little bit before you can start with him again.
Jack Black and his boys certainly did. They got banned from Australia. Did
What
you see-
happened with that?
did
What
you
that
see
guy supposedly say?
He was like, "Next time, don't miss" or something. It was something to that effect.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Savage.
yeah, and then Australia kicked him out.
Australia kicked him out? Why?
I don't because I don't know. I don't know. Do I look like I'm Australia? I'm a man from Murray County. You have to ask Australia. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I just don't understand why Australia cares if he says that. Plus, he's just like, it's just talk, you know?
I don't know, man. It might have been hate speech. Can't have that.
That's getting to be a real problem.
Oh yeah, dude. You get hate speech for anything.
The idea of a hate crime. What do you think about that?
It's freaking nonsense, dude. Like, unless you like hurt somebody. I don't know, but it's like the whole fire in a crowded theater argument, right? Like that's always people's argument to limit speech. Because what if you yell fire in a crowded theater and you get everyone into a frenzy and somebody gets hurt, even though there was no fire, right? It's kind of that thing. So I guess to try to extrapolate that to hate speech, like if you're hating on somebody and claiming that they're all dangerous and their ideology are dangerous and you rile people up, then should you be responsible for that? That's kind of their whole argument. I think that's dumb because you can make your own freaking decisions and decide that people are spewing nonsense. But
Yeah.
not everybody thinks the way I do, though. But yeah, hate speech is, in my opinion, is complete BS.
Yeah.
Because if somebody is being retarded and being a dick, well, just don't listen to them, right?
It's the simplest solution ever.
Right, like it's tough to separate emotion from like once you get emotional, you can't like assess things logically. But that's not my problem, right?
No,
that shouldn't because that is a thing shouldn't affect my free speech.
Right. Well, I've always been a big proponent of the fact that you should be able to say anything, but whether or not you should actually say that thing is a whole different subject.
Well, right, that's between you and God.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's the whole like common law, ecclesiastical law, commerce law argument. Right.
Yeah.
Right. You should be able to do what you want as long as it doesn't hurt other people. That doesn't mean you should always do what you want, but you should be able to. You should be able to destroy yourself as long as you're not hurting other people.
It was dramatic, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
What?
Good heavens.
What happened?
I can't believe that guy got so much flack for that. I mean,
What
I
guy?
get it's a dick thing to say. Jack Black's
Oh,
artist
we're
or
still on
whatever.
that. Oh, we're still on that. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I understand why people are pissed.
yeah, I mean, I get it, but didn't Jack Black like fire him too?
I don't know. I just know they got kicked out of Australia.
I'm
which
pretty
is
sure I
kinda
read
fun.
something about Jack Black firing him the next day, which the thing that bothers me about that is all of those people are super anti-Trump. So it's not something that's out of the ordinary for somebody like that to say. And while I have a problem with that whole paradigm, like on him so much as opposed to any other politician, they're all that way. That whole sect of like Hollywood and the political landscape, thereof, they're all that way. And so to immediately do an about face and, fire and vilify the guy seems ridiculous.
Yeah, cancel culture's coming back on them, right? They're getting to taste their own medicine.
And I guess there's some poetic justice in that, to be fair, to look at the other side of the coin. That's a fair point.
I don't know. I try to stay out of all that. It's just freaking crazy, everything that's been going on.
Also, who still listens to Tenacious D? Like, who still listens to that?
What is that? Is that Jack Black?
That's Jack Black's band.
He's in a band?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew he was in a band with Miranda Cosgrove, but I didn't know he was in like an actual band.
The guy who got fired, who said that, was part of Tenacious D. It's a two-man band, and he was the other half of Tenacious D with Jack Black.
Oh, well, he should stick to School of Rock.
Which is a great movie.
Oh, it's such a great movie. I want to go watch that now.
Let's do it.
It's got such a happy ending. He comes back. He saves the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wrote.
You think that's what Trump's going to do to bring us full
maybe,
circle?
dude. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and that bald guy was right. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a wild November. This year's the year of the dragon, right? In Chinese zodiac, and it'll end like right around the time of the inauguration. So
jeez.
It should be fun.
Is Trump the dragon? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
He is orange.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. He could be a dragon.
A dragon?
Yeah, that was a numerology joke. Everybody put a dragon in your numerology calculator. See what happens.
No one has a numerology calculator.
I do. I built one.
You're a freaking nerd.
I'll share it with dedicated Conspiracy Veritas Road listeners.
The one that's out there?
Right. For those who aren't conspiracy, I'll still share it with you. It's fun. Some good Excel work.
You do love Excel.
Excel's great, man.
Is there anything else we want to say about this shooting or the election? Because I feel like we're devolving into talking
maybe
about
if they'd
Excel.
have made a spreadsheet about it, they could have noticed the shooter. You think the Secret Service has spreadsheets?
I'm sure they do.
I don't know, dude. They can barely walk with 2 feet on the ground.
Do you know how big the Secret Service is, dude?
Do you know how retarded they just looked on this whole Trump thing?
Yeah, but I didn't know they had tens of
I could have
thousands
walked up there and grabbed Trump's hair.
I didn't know they had tens of thousands of employees.
Yeah, dude, it's humongous. I mean, they do more stuff besides protecting. Like, you got to send all your counterfeit bills to the Secret Service. They deal with that kind of stuff too.
Well, still, it's a way bigger than I ever realized.
Actually, now that I think about that, I know someone who works for the Secret Service. So do you? Well, you know someone who knows them.
That's great.
I will not dox them, but I will tell you off air because it's now coming to me.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big. It's like, how many employees does the Secret Service have? Let's find that out.
Well,
I
they
think it's
got
like 30,000 or something.
They got one less today because their director's gone. 'Cause
Yeah.
she sucks. It's huge, dude.
What are do you think their director had any direct involvement with Trump's detail?
I saw a little bit about that. Apparently, they were wanting more manpower, and she denied it.
Okay.
So that could be
So there was some direct involvement.
direct involvement. I mean, they wouldn't even give RFK Secret Service until recently.
Yeah, which is crazy. Oh, okay, I was dead wrong. It has 32,000.
3,200.
3,200. Sorry, yeah. 3,200. 1,300. Okay, so it's got like, what, 7,000 employees, roughly?
Yeah, roughly about
6,500-ish.
Yeah, and about 5,500 of them are, or 4,500 of them are actually like law enforcement.
Okay.
Between uniformed and special agents.
They finally gave RFK Secret Service protection?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Took
after
them
all
long
this.
enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk. You think RFK, dude? I bet he's got to be like on cloud 9, right?
Why? Because somebody else tried to assassinate somebody else's family?
No, because Biden dropped out, dude. He could come back and
Yeah. Oh, can I butt in on that? So I heard a theory that the whole reasoning behind Biden being in originally was to keep RFK off of the Democratic ballot. So
Interesting.
the idea was that he would stay on just long enough to where RFK can't qualify for the act.
Yeah, you ain't talking in the mic, dadgummit.
Sorry. So the idea was that Biden would stay on as the presumptive Democratic nominee so that RFK, and they wouldn't host a primary, so RFK or any other, potential candidate could challenge him. And then after, the time has elapsed, he would drop out, and then they could just appoint whoever they want, at their open convention.
Somebody's running a freaking coup over there.
Yeah. It's kind of what it seems like it is, but it was almost, basically the idea is just the whole thing could have been just designed to keep RFK out of the Democratic
Well, John, that's exactly
primary.
what they're doing. That's
Exactly
what they're
that's
doing
the
right
motive
now.
that people are assigning to that.
Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
The Democratic establishment hates RFK. So,
Why is he trying to run on their ticket?
he and his family have been lifelong Democrats.
Yeah, what kind of question is that?
Yeah, that's
When you think of
that's not a tough question.
When you think of Kennedys, you think Democrat. There's...
Yeah, but it's not 1970 anymore. Like, you can run, well, he obviously, I feel like he aligns politically more with most of the Republicans. Yes?
Dude, I bet if he ran as a Republican, his dad would rise from the dead and kill him. The Kennedys are Democrats, dude.
I understand that.
No, you don't, because you're questioning it.
How dare I?
That's right.
Jeez.
Yeah, as far as an actual answer, I don't know.
Gosh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
The Democrats have moved so far left that the Republicans now are Democrats. The right doesn't exist. And what is called the Democrats is freaking insane. Like Cesar Chavez level of like Venezuela insane.
Yeah.
Well, establishment Democrats have not moved. Like, the Democratic establishment is not left at all.
Yeah, they are, dude.
No, not the people who
What
run
the hell
party.
are you talking
Are
about,
you
John? Are you kidding me?
No, the people who run the Democratic Party are not far left at all. They're a bunch of establishment neocons. Hillary Clinton is not far left. Barack Obama is not far
Yeah,
left.
they
They're
are.
They're Bushies.
Have you heard?
They're George Bushes.
Have you
That's my
heard
point. They're
Hillary-
left.
Have you heard Hillary Clinton give a talk, dude? She's all into that far left
she's-
nonsense.
yeah,
or at
pandering.
least pretends to be.
Yeah, they're pandering.
Well,
They're
that's
not
the
actual
problem.
lefties.
That therein
You know?
lies the issue. If you're going to talk to any of the actual reasonable, middle of the road Democrats out there, they don't take up arms with all this insane, far left wing, weirdly fascist liberal. They don't around with that. Okay. The actual reasonable ones don't. But Hillary and all of those big name Democrats do now. Whether it's pandering is borderline immaterial. If you're going to be a politician and claim to stand for something, then you can't take up arms with that nonsense. You have to actually stand for something legitimate and show, even if you're pretending to get votes, that you're in with all this, men can, hang around with little kids because they're minor attractive persons nonsense, then you're part of that problem.
Don't talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. That makes me so mad. But, dude, that's my whole point, man. Everything's moving far left.
Yeah.
And even the old Democrats are looking right because of how far left everything's gone. The Republicans would be like, "Oh, we're fine with gays now. It's fine to be gay." Even in the Republicans now. What the heck's going on? What happened? Weren't Republicans against that, and just now they're all of a sudden not? What's the difference in a Republican and a Democrat now? Everybody's going to spend $400 million. $400 million. At $400 billion, everyone is going to be okay with the government being like 25 Jabba the Hutts. There's never any cutting the government.
I have no idea what you meant by that.
It's big, man.
Oh, okay.
Where is the actual conservatives? Where are the actual conservatives? Excuse my subject verb agreement.
I think most of your actual conservatives have probably disappeared because to be an actual legitimate political conservative now necessitates the fact that you want to trim the government to the barest of bones, and the government that exists as basically what amounts to a massive corporation, right? Can't tolerate that because it needs to keep getting bigger every year to allow for its own existence. It can't remain the same size, and it sure as hell can't get smaller and still exist. And so this mechanism wants to survive, and so it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. If you want to look at it on like a sociological level.
Yeah, I agree with that. So if it's getting bigger and bigger, what's getting smaller and smaller? The middle class, dude. It's a parasite to the middle class.
Ooh.
It's just like the freaking proletariats in 1984, right? Right now, or at least let's just call it in 1981, you had about, a decent-sized middle class, a decent-sized underclass. They're kind of all equal. A lot of rich people. They're kind of similar, equal. But as time progresses, that proletariat, because in 1984, there's 65% is the proletariat, 15% is the people who are in line, like we would call them the white-collar people, and then like the top 5%. Or the math may be wrong, but it's top 5 is the party. There's like 15% white-collar. Everybody else is proletariats. My point is, America's moving that way. The underclass dumb people are just getting bigger. Middle class is getting smaller and smaller. It's looking more like 1984.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
For the government to get bigger, something's got to get smaller, and that something is you and I. They're taking our money. Everything's getting more expensive. It's getting harder and harder to live.
I mean, I'm barely surviving.
Yeah. I mean, me too, man. So are whoever's listening to this.
Yeah, most people.
Yeah.
That was real depressing. Thanks.
Well, it's the truth, is it not? What would a real conservative do? Trim the government. That's never going to happen because to trim the government means you have to destroy it at this point, and all of society will collapse. So could be headed for a reset, boys.
All right. That was sad.
Just calling it like it is.
That was really sad. I like to think that that's such an apocalyptic outcome isn't necessary for the government to be reduced.
All right, listen to me. Answer this as honestly as you can, Carson.
What?
Is it possible for this system to end peacefully? Just based on that side, it's not in your heart of hearts, okay?
The optimist in me wants to believe that it is. But the radicalization of political parties and social agendas has begun to make it to where I don't know that it can end completely peacefully. I'd still like to think it can. But it's hard for me to envision, especially if you're going to reduce the size of the government. I mean, you've already had, wasn't like Texas threatening to secede a while back? Wasn't that a thing like 4 years ago? I'm pretty sure.
I mean, yeah, there is a Texas secession movement.
Yeah. And I mean, that's not necessarily out and out war, but it's political war, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I mean, that's never going to gain any traction, though, because the leaders are all in the same big club. I mean, you make a good point on ideology, but I'm just talking practicality. I mean, what happens if the lights go out for a month?
People will turn into animals.
Right. What happens if Kroger runs out of groceries for like 2 weeks?
Well, therein lies the big issue, right? So you have this ideological rift, right? And so if you want to look at reducing government size and spending without the society breaking down, that's one thing. If you look at society on the whole breaking down, the power going out and all the stuff you're talking about happening, right? People will for sure turn into animals after a very short period of time. It doesn't take long. And so I think we're kind of conflating two different things at this point.
I mean, I'm just making the point that it could be that, it could be society breaking down, or ideological differences, or both. That's my point. There's no peaceful answer.
The only thing I can think of is maybe just if poverty hits, because there's that whole concept of like, hard times create strong men, that whole thing.
Yeah.
You've heard that before. That's the only potential way out I could see, but that would mean going through a prolonged period of intense hardship.
Yeah, which will not be peaceful.
What? Why not?
Because people will want and covet and steal and kill.
Well, I guess where I'm taking issue here is now on just the scale of the unrest that you're discussing? You talking about out and out war between the states or
What do you-
something?
or
Or are you
no.
talking about like people looting in California? Like, what are you talking about?
I
Because
mean, all of it
if
combined.
you're discussing just like people stealing from Walmart and looting and raiding and that kind of thing, dude, that's already going on.
Yeah. Yeah, just scale that up. Imagine, instead of just like the inner cities, like that happens everywhere.
Interesting.
Like, what would have happened in the Great Depression if the government hadn't have shown up to give handouts?
Yeah.
It'd have been all-out Civil War chaos.
Well, I mean, supposedly suicide rates were astronomical during the Depression,
Yeah, and in 2008. Thank you, Federal Reserve.
and probably in 2020.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely in 2020. That's not even a conspiracy theory. That's mainstream. They just straight up admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming. Just, I don't know. I think it's healthy to stay away from it, but here we are talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a little bit more optimistic view on that, I would promote a book by Michael Malice called The White Pill. It is a very optimistic outlook on the troubling times. And basically, it's the premise that the political elite are a bunch of unimpressive morons, and that is somewhat true. And that, you don't necessarily have to be all doom and gloom because these aren't impressive people you're dealing with. If that makes sense.
Interesting.
I mean,
And that's a bad summation of his book, and I haven't finished it yet. But that his premise is that you're dealing with very unimpressive people, and just having the outright conclusion that they're going to get whatever they want, and things are going to be, go to hell, for lack of a better term, is not a logical conclusion.
first of all, his name is Michael Malice, and he's saying things are good. That's a little ironic.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying that the premise that the outcome is not it's not the black pill, right? Is not the correct outcome to have. That's not the correct viewpoint to have.
So that means things will be good.
Yes, it's having an optimistic outcome. It's not that things are good now, but it's like there is a reason to be optimistic.
It's the idea, if I can maybe try to paraphrase what you're saying, John, that things might not absolutely go to complete, but
Yeah,
that
I
there
know
could be a potentially peaceful and tolerable outcome. Not necessarily perfectly good, but at the very least palatable, I think.
Yeah, and
That's what John's saying.
Right, I get that, and I was pointing out the irony of his last name, and the fact that these people are unimpressive people. Well, I mean, these people don't do anything. I'll agree with that, but unimpressive people can't rule the world. They answer to higher powers, and those higher powers are quite impressive. Thankfully, we owe our allegiance to something even higher than that. But I agree that the people are, completely bumbling idiots and morons. But Biden doesn't rule anything. Who's Biden's boss? Who's Biden's boss's boss? That's where you could start to get into, for lack of better words, impressive stuff.
Well, without getting into like super deep state type stuff, you have to be a moron to want to go into politics. I mean, to want to do anything like that, you have to be such an egomaniacal idiot, right? To think that you know better than everyone else how to run their lives is ridiculous.
Yeah, do you think anybody actually has that motive? They're going in for the money, dude. They're going in for the fame. They're going in for the status. They don't give two craps about ideological change, especially the higher up you go. Like maybe some, city council woman from some obscure ward in New York who actually wants to make a change for the people. But then the first dinner she goes to with the mayor, all that crap goes out the window.
Yeah, well, that's my point.
Power corrupts, man.
Yeah, even if you are the kind of person who at least at some point decides to go into politics for, quote, the right reasons, unquote, you still have to be an egomaniacal maniac to say, I'm the right person to fix other people. That's wild.
Yeah, I agree with that point. Leaders should never want it.
Yeah.
It's like Cincinnatus, man.
It's the prime example of what a leader should look like.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Great story.
Right. I mean, it totally wasn't real, but it is a great story, man.
Yeah, that's... Man. Yeah. The whole George Washington mentality.
That's right.
Go back to your farm.
Right.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Right.
You don't want to do it, but you feel like it's your freaking duty. Everyone's calling it for you. You have to for the sake of honor.
Yeah.
Right. That whole.
Yeah. We need to put a ribbon on this. We've gone on way too long.
Yeah. How long have we been going? We really need a timer.
We're at 119.
Yeah,
oh,
we
it definitely ended at 119. That's a good number.
We should have capped this at probably 45 minutes. But
Really? You're not happy?
Yeah, this is a good conversation.
yeah, all right.
Okay,
Well,
fine. Mr. Negative.
Grief.
all
Hey,
right.
give us money.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.